Good day, folks. Coach Johnson here, IYC Coaching. This is going to be a little video about the differences between BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and Krav Maga, why you might choose one over the other, or, like I do them both. All right, let's get with it. So, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, one of the main advantages is you are going to be doing actual resistive training against trained opponents as you go through the process. What that means is you learn an escape, you learn an arm lock, you learn a choke. You, as once you get the technique down, you're going live play. You get to actually try to apply these moves against an opponent who's not necessarily giving you the opportunity to do it. Now, when you're a beginner, obviously your opponents are going to go easier on you, but as you get more experience, you got to really work for this stuff. So I'd say one of the biggest advantages of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that you can do the techniques pretty much full speed and live against a resistant opponent. With Krav Maga, you learn a much larger spectrum of defenses, multiple attackers, weapons, disadvantage, dark, light, whatever. However, you don't have the opportunity to try them all at 100% because obviously if you're going to strike sensitive areas like the groin and the throat and the eyes, it's going to be awfully hard to find partners that are willing to let you do that 100%. So there's a lot of simulation. Now, in our academy, when we want to try a technique out, we get the padded suit out, make sure the attacker is protected as possible, and have them apply resistance. Is it 100%? Not always, but it's pretty close. This way we test our techniques to make sure they're actually going to work. It's not a perfect solution because obviously a padded assailant isn't an actual attacker. So this is one of, so far the advantage for live training goes to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the Krav Maga makes it a little bit tougher. And Krav Maga, we have a lot more material that we cover as far as possible scenarios. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is fairly stuck on empty hand training, mostly in the grappling orientation, which is totally fine. This is a very important skill set. There is grappling and Jiu-Jitsu style techniques in Krav Maga in the context of self-defense. And of course, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they will teach you how they handle threats like chokes and headlocks and knives and even guns and stuff. So it's really a matter of which element is more important to you. Now let's talk about conditioning. Conditioning as far as your fitness level, I would say in my experience, the average Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school is more of a workout than the average Krav Maga academy. Now again, that's a generalization. I've been to Krav Maga academies where the training is very vigorous and very difficult and very exhaustive. I don't think I've ever been to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy where the training was not at least hard. Obviously, it's very easy to adjust for that too. If you're someone who's got an injury or you are a beginner, the coach can adjust those techniques accordingly. In Krav Maga, sometimes the techniques are very, I wouldn't say complex, but they're things we can't do 100% with body weight. So we have to slow it down a little bit and make sure the technique has been done correctly. And that turns the class into less of a workout. Now, I'm not saying you won't sweat in Krav Maga because you certainly will. If you're not, then you're probably in the wrong school. But if you're looking for purely for a conditioning standpoint, Jiu-Jitsu is probably the better choice if the academy only has one or the other. As far as reality goes, this is where a lot of people get really get their panties in kind of a bunch is, well, Krav Maga, you guys don't train hard, so it's not real. And Jiu-Jitsu, you guys only do ground. So they both have advantages, and they both will provide real training. If your main goal is the maximum amount of threat response versus a variety of threats, and Krav Maga is probably a better choice. If your main goal is to be extremely proficient at the self-defense techniques that you are learning, then Jiu-Jitsu would probably be a better choice. Again, if you have the opportunity, you can find an academy that does both. They mesh very well together, both being reality systems. So I think that's the best solution. That's not always possible. There are towns in our country, or probably around the world, where they may not even have a Jiu-Jitsu or a Krav Maga academy at all, or they may only have one or the other. So therefore, your options will be limited. So this is good. Now I've been doing Krav Maga I've been teaching it for it'll be 20 years next month. This is shot in July of 2001. I've been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and related systems since 1996 or 5 or something like that. So I've been in enough different academies to give you a really good, well-rounded view of how they differ and how they're similar and what to look for. So I hope that you find that useful. If you found value, please give us a subscription. Click the red subscribe button. Like the video. Maybe hit the bell notification. This is Coach Jay. Talk to you later. Bye.